What's up, family? Man, back with another video. It's been a minute since I've been on YouTube, and man, I apologize for that stuff that I had to take care of. Man, I had to go to the motherland. I had to go to the motherland. I had to go to the heart of Egypt, man, the heart of Africa. Man, stay with me. We're going to go somewhere. Paying attention to the signs. Paying attention to the signs. So we're going to talk about today. It's a trip because um, I didn't know when I got back from Egypt on Friday, and man, my heart was, man, I'm gonna jump on, make a video, and whoop de whoop. And God was like, no, rest, chill out, chill out, chill out. And I couldn't understand that, and I couldn't process. I was trying to process it. I was trying to make sense of it all, and it's just like he wasn't giving me anything to talk about. Stay with me. I promise you, we're gonna go somewhere. And so I got up this morning and I just loaded some stuff off the social media this past weekend. And I loaded up a video that I made a couple weeks ago on TikTok talking about God, recognizing God. I just loaded that video up on TikTok this morning. I made that video a while back, a couple weeks ago on YouTube. And so I was sitting there listening to it. I could hear God say, this is what we need to talk about. This is it right here. And man, recognizing the signs, because so often, we want to know, man, are we hearing from God? Man, will you hear me say it all the time? There are no synchronicities in life. I mean, there are no coincidences in life. Excuse me. There are no coincidences in life. There's synchronicities, there's signs from God, signs from Source, the Most High, that we're not paying attention, that we don't understand. And oftentimes, God drops little reminders to us. God allow things to happen, and it's just man, I'm giving you little breadcrumbs. Why? So that we could find our way back home. Stay with me. I promise you, I'm going somewhere. And so often we don't understand it. We just think, man, that's just a coincidence. Not understanding, no, it's not a coincidence. These were reminders to you. This was a message from the Most High to you. You didn't see it that way. You didn't understand it. You just thought that you was doing whatever you was that you was doing. But not even understanding the bigger picture. Not even understanding the fact that, man, there's a powerful message in this. Oh, we're going somewhere today. Years ago, man, almost 30 years ago. And I got this tattoo of Africa on my heart. Continent of Africa. And then I got this tattoo over here. My crystals and stuff. All seeing eye. The pyramid. The scarab. Hieroglyphics. And I didn't even understand at the time the impact. I didn't understand the time the meaning behind it. I understood the pyramid. I understood the eye. I understood the continent of Africa, the scarab. I understood, man, I'm getting hieroglyphics. But I didn't understand the big picture. Stay with me. Many people come to me, man, why did you go to Africa? Why did you feel like you had to go back? God was showing me yesterday, Elijah, you was always destined to go back. Elijah, you had to go back. Elijah, 30 something years ago, you got the Ankh tatted on your forearm. One right here. It's upside down. The other one on this side. Going the opposite direction. You put them together. It's almost like the yin yang. One going one direction, the other going the opposite direction. So no matter which way I look at my hands or somebody else look at my arms, they see one cross going up and another cross going down. African symbol. And what God had to show me was, Elijah, you had to go back. Elijah, it was bigger than you. Elijah, I allowed you to believe that you were going back to Africa on vacation. I allowed you to believe and convince yourself this was the break, this was the rest and relaxation that you needed after the whole year of chaos and turmoil and broken hearts and betrayal, all the shit you went through earlier this year, you believe that this is your time to chill out. You believe that this is your time to sit back and bask in the sun and just, woosah. Elijah, understand. Now give me some tea. Understand that on September 11th, and I had a dream or astral experience where this lady came to me, and I later found out that is the next day. I found out that it was my mom. Came to me, grabbed me by my hands, and took me into this room, and just held me and just prayed over me, just sobbing and crying. She was just going in on my behalf. And I didn't understand it at the time. I didn't understand the significance of this lady crying out for my behalf. She was broken and just going in hard, just holding me tight and just crying out and just speaking in this another language I didn't understand. And she was going in for me. And at the time, I'm thinking, I ain't got time for this religious bullshit. I ain't got time for no fucking religion. I don't give a fuck what the religion is. I'm not a religious person. I know who God is. I'm connected to God. And she's just going in, just crying out. And it broke me down. It humbled me. It shook me because of her intensity. Now I'm crying and moaning and groaning in my spirit. And then it ended. And what God had to show me yesterday, he said, Elijah, she was crying out for you because she knew you were going to Egypt. She was crying out on your behalf because she knew what you was about to go through. You didn't understand. It was 11 days before you went to Egypt. 11 days is a powerful number to me. The meaningful number to me. And here it is. I didn't even put the two pieces together. I didn't even put the fact that man, I had this experience on September 11th. September 16th. 11 days before I landed in Egypt. And so, and didn't even understand the significance of me being in Egypt until I made it back. And I'm sitting here, and for like the last 2 nights of in Egypt, I'm crying out to God, God, why am I here? Why did I have to come here? I'm not mad that I'm here. I'm not mad that I had to experience the pyramid or be able to go down into the pyramid. I'm not mad or disappointed that I had the privilege of going down into the Nile. I've been able to submerge myself in the water of the Nile. God, I'm not mad or disappointed that I had the privilege of traveling up and down the Nile River on a cruise and going to all these temples. I'm not disappointed in that, but it's bigger than this, and I can't understand. So, God, I need you to tell me, why am I here? I know I did come thousands of miles just to be able to experience this, just to be able to see the obelisk and all these other things. I didn't come here just to see these things. Why am I here? And for the last 2 nights, I'm going in hard in either trying to understand the why. My first night back here in America, I'm crying out to God again. Why? What was the reason for me going there? Because I know it's bigger than just the cruise. It's bigger than the experience of being there and seeing these things. I know know it's bigger than me having to go back for my ancestors and all those that were connected and that are connected to me that never had the opportunity to make it back to Egypt, to the motherland. I know I didn't go back to the desert of the pyramids just for my Masonic brothers and sisters that never had the opportunity of walking that desert, literally. But we're going there today. We're going there. I promise you. Stay with me. So I'm sitting there and I'm crying out to God, why? Why? And God had to show me in life. I had several dreams that just flowed one after the other, one after the other. And the final thing God was showing me and God talked to me. After it's all over, I was like, okay, God, what is it? What is it? What is it? What does that mean? And he had to, Elijah, you had to go back to Africa. Elijah, you're so busy looking at all the things that you've gone through in life that you never paid attention. You never understood that your soul maturity was so much further along than the other members of your family. Your soul maturity was so much further than so many people around you. You're looking at their titles, you're looking at their positions, and you think that they're smarter and wiser and deeper than you. And you don't understand the spiritual immaturity of their soul. We're going there today. We're going there, I promise you. So I'm sitting there, God, 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 God. And so the last dream that I had, he's showing me that, I'm part of this group. And man, I'm out on this another planet. It's like a distant, far off planet. And we're fighting as a group of small humans, and we're fighting these monsters. Stay with me. And it's like a band, a tribe of humans grouped together, having to go out on missions to fight these monsters. But the trick was that there were other humanoids out there. There were other humans that started growing groups, that started growing rogue. And instead of them fighting the monsters, they were now fighting other human groups. They were now robbing and killing other human groups. And so the group that I'm in, I'm the newest member of this group. And everybody had been together for a while. They had gone out on so many missions together. And the group is broken up into different titles and positions. We all have a specialty. But yet my overall overwhelming feeling that I had was that it's my job to protect this group. It's my job to protect everybody in this group. I'm the newest member, but I felt responsible for everybody in the group. I'm the newest person to the group, but I felt like it was my responsibility to protect and look after everybody. And so we're going out on all these different missions and just, man, we're doing our thing. And we're coming all back and we're man, putting in that work. And this last mission we go out, man, it was a rough one. It was a bad one. You know what I mean? Man, all of us was battered, bruised. And some of us didn't make it back. Some of us didn't make it back off this mission. They died out in battle. And I'm like, oh God. And so we're coming into our vehicle, our transport, to get back to base, right? And so we're just exhausted. We're just overwhelmed. We're tired. Man, we won that little battle. And we're just making it back to our battleship to go back to our base camp, right? And we're exhausted, and there's a few of us that make it back. And man, I'm not paying attention. We all just fall down into different chairs and positions, right? And we just collapse. We're just exhausted. And I'm not even aware of it. I fall into the chair, the second in command. And so I slump down into this chair and just exhausted, just overwhelmed, just Oh, we made it. We made it. We made it. And the tears are rolling down my eyes as I'm thinking about those that didn't make it back. And it dawned on me whose chair that I'm sitting in. And I jump up and I apologize to the group. And man, I'm begging their forgiveness because I'm sitting, not even paying attention, in the seat of the second in command. I'm the newest member in the group, but I'm sitting in the second commander's chair. And the leader of the group pats me on my shoulder and tells me it's okay. Elijah, you've earned the right. You put in so much work. Elijah, you proven yourself in battle. Elijah, you did your thing. You went over and beyond. Elijah, you've earned the title. You've earned the rank. You've earned the right. You've earned to sit in this seat. Sit down. You're good. And the experience dream ended. And I'm talking to God. Stay with me. I'm talking to God afterwards. Like, what the heck has all this got to do with you with anything? What does this mean? What does this mean? And God's talking to me and he's telling me, Elijah, see, you thought you came to Africa to go see the pyramids. You thought you came to Africa to see the Sphinx. You thought you came to Africa to see the obelisk and all these other different things and the play in the Nile. You thought you came to Africa because of the connection and because of your ancestors. That's just a tiny piece of it, Elijah. Elijah, pay attention to the signs. Elijah, I brought you back home to Africa because of the spiritual battle that was taking place. There's a spiritual war going on, and I needed you to come back to Africa at this time. At this moment, you had to be here. At this moment, you had to participate in the battles that you did. Man, the trip it was overwhelming. I was overwhelmed physically the whole time I was there. The whole time I was there, it's like something just didn't seem right. The whole time I was there, I was up under pressure. Stay with me. See, before I even left, my stomach was messed up. My stomach was twisted before I even got on the plane to leave to go to Egypt. And I assumed it was just, man, I was just nervous. I was just anxious. I was just excited about the upcoming trip. The whole time I was there in Africa, my stomach was messed up. And anybody would assume, oh, it's because of the food, because of the water. No, my stomach was twisted before I even went to Africa. And what God had to show me is, Elijah, you were already in battle. Elijah, there are certain entities that didn't want you to make it to Africa. There were certain entities that didn't want you to make it to Egypt. I went through so much just getting to Egypt physically. It's as though everything was against me to make it there. It's as though when I got there, everything was against me to be there. The person supposed to pick me up wasn't there. And so I'm having to talk to this lady, man, because I don't understand Arabic at all. And there's this lady, man, I'm trying to get help from. So she's trying to help me. She sees, man, this guy came from America. He don't speak our language. He don't know our custom. And the person that's supposed to be here, the company that's supposed to be here to pick him up, ain't even here. So I give her my paperwork showing where I'm supposed to be staying at, the hotel reservations and stuff I have. And she calls them and they tell her that I'm not even booked. I got the paperwork proving that I'm booked for that night. But the person on the other end is telling her they have no reservation for me. They have no booking for me. I'm not due until the 10th. And I'm telling her I'm back in America on the 10th. I fly back on the 6th. How can you have a booking for me to arrive on the 10th? And so I'm going through it with these people for over an hour. And God has shown me so much I went through. Elijah, it was a spiritual battle. Elijah, you had to fight spiritually. You was going through it physically, but it was a spiritual warfare. And I brought you here for this reason. See, the signs on your chest, the continent of Africa, the pyramid, the scarab, the all-seeing eye, the hieroglyphics, the ankhs, they were all keys to you. They were all signs to you for this moment, for this battle. You were chosen for this. You were handpicked for this. You were handpicked for this mission, for this warfare. See, you thought you was coming on vacation. You thought you was going to be able to just chill out and just relax. You thought you was going to be able to just hang out because you didn't understand the bigger picture. You had to be here. While I was there, there's this older couple from London, Christy and David. And man, awesome couple. Man, we were able to sit there and just chop it up and just, man, just the vibe, the energy was just, man, it was so encouraging, so uplifting. You know what I mean? It was, we were so connected. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. And it's a trip because as we walked around through the ancient temples, as we walked around to the different places, Christy came back and we're sitting there on the cruise going down the Nile. And she's telling me, man, I feel so protected with you. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. I feel so protected now that you're with us. Now that you're amongst us and you're going with us. I feel protected, I feel safe. the Egyptians, the ones that was trying to slang us merchandise and all this other stuff. The noise. The noise. You know, they were always trying to sell us some stuff, always on us, just trying to push and just, man, make a sale. And we didn't want to buy the stuff, right? And it's not that it wasn't good stuff. We just didn't want it. We wasn't there for the merchandise. And so they were always, everywhere I got off the boat, everywhere I went in Egypt, they were calling me Rambo. Rambo, 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 Rambo. And I was laughing and I didn't understand. And God had to show me Elijah. Look at the signs. Elijah, you're now here at the pyramid. Everywhere you've gone in Egypt, the locals call you Rambo. Everywhere you go in Egypt, they're tripping off of all of your crystals. See, because you didn't understand the significance to them. You have your own interpretation of what the crystals mean, especially your lapis and all the other ones that you wear. See, the Egyptians were wearing crystals thousands of years ago. When you look at the mask thing of King Tut and all the other ancient pharaohs, they all had blue lapis lazuli in it. They all had the carnelian in it. They all had turquoise. And Elijah, you wear a lot of turquoise. You wear a lot of lapis lazuli. And they were sitting there looking at all that you had on. And it was a reminder to them of wealth and prosperity and power. They knew there was something about you. They knew something was different about you. They're calling you Rambo. And everywhere you go, the group that you're with, they feel safe and protected when you're there. They don't understand why they feel safe and protected. They just know that they're safe and protected. There's something about your aura. There's something about your presence that made them feel safe. Elijah, you're at the pyramids and you have your warrior's tank top on. Out of all the things to wear that day, you had your warrior's tank top on. Why? It was not a coincidence, Elijah. Why that day when you went down into the pyramids? Why that day when you went to the Sphinx? Why that day when you went to the Egyptian Museum did you have your warrior's tank top shirt on? Elijah, you are a spiritual warrior. This is why you had to go to Egypt. This is why you had to be there. This is why you had to protect those people. Your spirit protected them. Your spirit made them feel safe. Your presence made them feel safe. So many of us, chosen ones, because we've gone through so much, we don't really understand the power we have. So many of us, chosen ones, because we've gone through so much hell, we don't really understand the power we possess spiritually. We don't understand the power that walk with us. We don't even have to say anything. Just our presence commands respect. Just our presence is comforting. Pay attention to the signs. Paying attention to the signs. See, you think people don't want to fuck with you because, man, for whatever reason you think. You think it's because you're not beautiful. You think it's because you're too dark, you're too light, you're too short, you're too fat, you're not beautiful. You think it's all this superficial shit, and you don't understand the motherfucking power in the spiritual realm that you have. And so you're a walking giant. And you walking around on this planet thinking you a nobody, thinking you ain't shit. And God has got me here today telling you you're a spiritual giant. You're a spiritual warrior. And so your presence fucks up their spiritual realm. Your presence makes them feel uncomfortable. Your presence is intimidating to them. Your presence is threatening to them. And you're wondering why. How come they don't like me? How come they don't want to be around me? How come they don't want to spend time with me? Because they're intimidated by your spiritual being. They're threatened by your spiritual being. And instead of you understanding who you are, you're looking up to all these motherfuckers because they got money, and they got titles and statuses and all this other shit, and you want to be like them. Not understanding you're far more powerful than them. You're minimizing who you are because you're looking at the superficial. Listen to the noise, the distractions, the bullshit. And that's what we do. We get so caught up with the bullshit, so caught up with the distractions, so caught up with titles and names and muscles and status and all this other superficial bullshit that we don't understand who the fuck we are. And because they got money and status, we think they got power. We think they somebody. And God has said, hell no. No, no, that's not how it works. I don't give a fuck how big their church is. I don't give a fuck how many people go to their church. I don't give a fuck how many millions of people follow them. That don't mean shit in the spiritual realm. That don't mean shit to God. And so when I sat there and he was talking to me about it, he's showing me, Elijah, tell the people, don't worry about how many people are following you on social media. Don't worry about how many people subscribe to you. Don't worry about how many people listen and like and heart your videos or the things you post. It ain't about that. It's only about that to the superficial. It's deeper than that for us. It's bigger than that for us. Remember who you are. Remember why you're here. You didn't come here for 1 million subscribers. You didn't come here for all of these followers. Remember who you are. You hear me say all the time, namaste. The God in me sees, recognizes, acknowledges, and cherishes the God in each and every one of you. I hope and pray that I said something to encourage you, to inspire you, to uplift you, to challenge you. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.